So Roman clothing, yeah, that's a very interesting subject. So both men and women, they were wearing these tunics, but for women it was longer, so almost to their ankle, and men obviously wore shorter tunics, but even the slaves had tunics. So basically everybody could wear a tunic. The kids were also wearing the same type of tunic. They were usually made of cotton, linen, or wool. Men, however, had something called toga. That's probably what you have seen in the movies. Most of the movies, men wearing this very, very long, elaborated, long piece of fabric around them, and that's called toga. They wore it as an official clothing, so if it's more like a business suit nowadays, basically. But there was only men who were allowed to wear toga. And they had to wear it in any official meeting and gathering. Most of them were white, but high-rank people, emperor, could also wear purple colored toga. The reason for it is purple color was so expensive to make. It was made of some kind of shell, so it was very difficult and expensive process to do, and only high people with a high position could wear that. So women wore something called stola over their tunic if they were married. And stola was basically two pieces of rectangle fabric sewn together and buttoned together. But it was very simple, just over the head, and an opening for head and arms, and it could be held together with a belt, or it was cinched just under the breast. Over this stola, women also wore palla, which is basically a shawl, very long, almost 11 feet, 5 feet in the width shawl. They wrapped themselves around with the palla. Especially if it was cold outside, it would protect them from the wind and bad weather. But also they covered their hair and their face when they went out if they didn't want to be disturbed. They could also wear it over their left shoulder and under their right arm. That's probably the most common way of wearing a palla. Women were also wearing makeup back then. Makeup was mostly made by the oil and stones that they were crushing to powder, and with the oil it became like a cream. The slaves put the makeup on their masters, and the slave who knew how to put the makeup on the master's faces were very high demand. Roman usually wore eyeliner, and eyeshadow was very popular also, and rouge. They also had hair dye, so it was very popular to dye their hair with henna, like red color, and make the hair blonde, like bleaching. But they also wore lots of wigs. They had a very elaborate hair, and their status could be seen in how elaborate the hairstyle was. Women were also very fond of jewelries, and there were lots of jewelries. Younger women who were engaged, they got lots of jewelries from their fiance, and they wore their jewelries before they would go out, so they can show that, yeah, they were engaged. That was very popular. And men also wore jewelry, mostly ring, which was like a wax stamp. So if they want to wax seal a document, they had their ring and they just stamp it with their ring and wax seal, which was very interesting. They found lots of these type of ring, wax seal rings in Roman baths around UK also, so that's how we know they did that. There are also in the museums around in UK.